What is up? Happy Friday, everybody. I'm out here live at Greystone. We're going to be here till, I'm going to be here till 3. Then I'm probably going to hit the golf course. Matt will be here right at 3 o'clock. We're here all day for a great cause. Fight DMD. You can go to fightdmd.com. The next flight's going to go out in a little bit. So if you're cruising around, you got a Friday, and you say, Matt, I'd like to get out there and have some fun, come on out. See, they've got a lot of stuff you can bid on. And it is a very aggressive form of muscular dystrophy, and it is very you meet, the kid Jonah, who we're going to talk to here in about a half an hour. He and his dad, this is about him and his little brother. I was talking to him earlier, and this guy's just the sweetest guy. He's 21, and the stuff that they had to go through, we found out when he was 5 and his little brother was 2 that they both had this. And it is, the fight that they go through on a daily basis is, tremendous. And one of the things, the fight they put up is tremendous. And one of the things they did is they used to have to drive back and forth to Indiana and several other places just to go see doctors. And that's what they would do for the weekend, come home, and Dad would have to go to work, and Mom. And they realized, we got to figure something out. And then they went to Vanderbilt and said, we got to figure something out where we can do this. And one of the big things is, with this version of it, is cardiac care. Because we were talking, and the fact is that, muscular dystrophy, it affects people in so many different ways, but this form of it is really bad for the heart. So for them to live as long as they have it and to be, in pretty good shape, yes, Jonah's in a wheelchair, but the fact that I talk to him, he says his heart's great. And he's got some hot takes too. So we're gonna see if we can get him to do some hot takes. You know what's funny though, guys? I asked him, I said, Jonah, what's your favorite thing? He said, dude, I like movies. I said, you like movies? I said, yeah. I said, what's your favorite movie? Now, he's 21. What do you think his favorite movie is? Guys, come on, what do you think? 21, young guy, favorite movie. I was like, sitting there going, you like what? You like the Von Trapp family? You like what? He likes musicals. I was laughing so hard. So, but come on out here, and it's a good thing. Come say hi to us. Maybe you will not find a more beautiful day than you have right now. It is so gorgeous out here, too. It's the other thing. It is just amazing. So we're here in Dixon, Greystone Golf Club. Get yourself out here. A lot of you chiming in because we're talking about the National Guard. We talk about Israel as well. And we'll get to Israel in a second. The National Guard side of things. They're not putting the National Guard on the street with no weapons and saying, go fight crime. They're not doing that. There's a good chance, from what I'm seeing, it depends. There's several places. I think they're only going to be in certain areas, and they're going to be in federal buildings where not a lot's probably happening. And even Governor Lee's kind of admitted that. So if they need be, and everybody thinks that everybody's going there is an NPE. They're not. But you're not a sworn officer either. Even if you are a police officer somewhere else, you're not a sworn officer in Memphis. And so, this is not about the Guard, whether good or bad. A lot of this is about show. And you show that force. Kind of like with ISIS, right? Like Trump's like, we're going to surge, we're going to kick their butts, and we're going to get rid of them as best as we can. And you surge, but, I continue to ask the question, what are we doing afterwards? I mean, what are we doing after this situation where we're going to help? Make sure that, Memphis is one of those cities where you go around the world and, everybody knows New York, Los Angeles, right? Everybody knows that. Everybody knows Texas, the state. They may know Dallas, they may not know Dallas, but they know Texas. Texas has branded itself tremendously. Nashville's got a huge footprint, way bigger than they used to. Memphis has always had a big footprint because of Elvis, obviously, being a huge one. That song, Walking in Memphis, was massive in Europe on several occasions. So it should be a world-class city. Should absolutely be a world-class city. But it's not. And that is because you've had years of poor city management by people who've decided to be more activists than actual people that are handling business and trying to keep people safe. And we can't have that. And you see that all over the country, where everybody decides, hey, you can do anything you want. It's a lifestyle choice. You want to be a drug addict and sleep on the street? It's a lifestyle choice. You want to commit crime? It's only because you're hungry. Otherwise, you wouldn't do that. That's not true. And we know that. So we can't have a city like that, but we also have to be real that it can't just be let's show force. And it's got to start with education and stuff with inside the community where it's not about community activists and leaders. It's about business people and people that see where things need to go to get better, where an emphasis goes on education and money gets put there in certain ways so you can empower kids to not look at the guy down the street who wants to settle everything with a gun as the dude who you want to emulate. Because that ain't good. That is not good at all. We've got to do better. Like I said, I don't have the clip. I have the clip, but I don't because I can't play it from here. I was watching a clip where this family is suing a school here in Tennessee, not in Nashville, but their kid graduated with 3.4 grade point average, is in college, and reads at a third grade level. How the hell did that happen? How the hell do we have kids who are in college who can't read? Think about that. I did a story earlier this year. I don't know if you guys remember this. This was a lady, this is a young woman who's like 24, and she's going to Boston College. She can't read at all. And she had a 4.0. The hell are we doing? I mean, it's nuts. And that's why, I know Chris homeschools his kids. We homeschool ours. And for that reason, not because I think teachers are bad, right? So if your teacher's like, but you know what? I hear from a lot of you teachers how frustrated you guys are at this situation. I think COVID played a huge role too, because I think we can all agree something happened during COVID that when kids got back, it was just a different thing. Where it was just something happened. And I said from jump too, and this is where you've seen this, where the battle between, used to be, you say you do it for the kids and everybody's pulling for the teachers. But once COVID came and parents got to see a lot of what was in the curriculums and the way that schools were shut, that I said, let me tell you what's not going to happen. It's not going to be like it used to be because parents don't forget. Parents don't forget. And so we shouldn't have a battle between we want successful teachers that we can reward, bad teachers that we get rid of, and empowering parents when it comes to school and getting kids the education they need. Because the better educated you are, if you do a few simple things, the chances of success being a semi-successful, not an idiot ne'er-do-well going to jail is massive. Don't get anybody pregnant. Don't get pregnant. I know that's very scary to say. I know it is. I know it's scary. But it's true. When I used to have interns, the first thing I would tell them is, all right, let me tell you guys how to be successful. Get your high school diploma, or your GED. Read a lot, and most importantly, don't get somebody pregnant and don't get pregnant. I said, you're halfway there now.
And again, don't get pregnant.
Yes. Don't get pregnant. That right there. What the hell? Do you think there's a way that's going to end in success for anything in that path? No. And if you get somebody pregnant, damn it, you better be there. You better stick around. You better be a part of that kid's life, because otherwise, that is the cycle we see over and over again. Things that are just common sense aren't common sense anymore because we've decided responsibility is nobody's. And we can't have that. And if you want to see about fixing crime and making it a long-term thing, this is what it's all about. And it's a long-term thing, though. And I think the problem is, and Ken, we live in a time when the average attention span's 8 seconds, and we live in TikTok world. People want results now.
What'd you say?
What did I say?
I'm sorry, I wasn't paying attention.
What? Who? Goldfish? No, right. Like Bell's right, though. If we can't, so wait, we're we're going to come in, we're going to stop the crime. It'll happen for 3 weeks. Then the National Guard leaves, and then crime comes back, and then we haven't fixed the problem. No. And that's not going to be, even if they stay there for a year, it's still not fixing the long-term problem, which is you don't want people living in a state of emergency, and you want to give people the opportunity to have hope. And that comes through education, and that comes from giving them something besides what, just essentially the city going, do what you guys want. We'll come back and get your vote soon. Here's just enough to survive in the, because that's what it's really been in the inner city. And it happened once they started saying, hey, you know what? You can have welfare, but you can't have any men in the house. Don't get pregnant, Ken. Can I get an amen, Ken?
Do not get pregnant. Amen, brother.
Amen. Amen. That little thing right there is so huge. I don't even think it's just a little thing. It's not that hard. It's not that hard, right? They have everything you could think of to protect yourself from having a child and getting pregnant. It's not that hard. Little things in life.
Oh, it's a lot more difficult now that men can get pregnant, though.
Well, that is true. Listen, if you're a man and you get pregnant, it's your body, your choice. I mean, I don't know what to say at that point in time. That's right, I forgot. Sometimes that happens. You're right. And by the way, so that means don't get pregnant for all of you. And by the way, ladies, if you get a man pregnant, don't do that.
In fact, Tennessee passed a law that requires sex education to be abstinence-focused.
Yeah. I mean...
And it looks like it may be mandated in counties that have a specific teen pregnancy rate.
That is...
Got to include, information on STIs, abstinence, and what is called character development. Parents have an opt-out policy to remove their children from instruction.
When you were... I'm sure you did the same thing. I'm sure some of you listening probably did. How many of you had to carry that damn egg around?
I don't recall having to do that.
Did you, Bell, did you have to do that when you were in Iceland? Did you have to carry that egg around whenever,
No.
wherever the hell you were?
Did not.
So we used to have to do this where, it was, they wanted to kind of show everybody, okay, this is what responsibility looks like. And this is the responsibility. You guys have to carry this damn egg around for like a semester. So you would be paired up with a girl. And you would, she'd take it one night, you'd take it the other, but you couldn't break it. Otherwise, you get in trouble for it, and you could lose, points or whatever. And you had to do that, showing that you can't leave it somewhere. If you had to go to work, you had to make sure that somebody could watch it. You had to get over. It was showing that this is not a toy.
Right.
They're not. They're human beings, and you have to take care of them. And by the way, not only you have to take care of them, you are also having to provide for them, but because you're so young, because you're poor, now the state has to provide for you. Now you're in the loop of doom that's going to lead to the same thing over and over again. So, yeah, we had to, I don't know if you guys had to do that. Text the program and let you know. We had to do that. So we had this basket, and you name it, whatever. And, I'd take it home for a night. Where's the baby?
Since the kids didn't live together, it was like they had divorced parents for the egg.
Yeah, pretty much. It was it. But it was also showing them if you're 16 and you get pregnant, your boyfriend's not moving in with you. Your girlfriend's not moving in with you and the parents. That's not happening. So you're going to have to go through all of this stuff where you're back and forth and trying to find babysitting and all these kind of things. And it was an eye-opener. Hell, we can't even get kids to take care of their damn dog and pick up the poop at the park. So, yeah, we need some personal responsibility. We need a long-term goal, though. And I like the abstinence thing. And, and you should be honest. Say, look, some of you aren't going to stay abstinent. But the least you can do is wrap it up and make sure that nothing happens where you have a child that's in first grade while you're in 11th grade. Ooh. Coming up, more good stuff to get to. We're going to talk a little bit more about Comey. We're going to talk a little bit more about Israel. We've got some fun stories as well. We got the TikTok. It's not going anywhere. How about apples that are those apples, huh, kids? Did you watch any TikTok last night, Ken?
I did not last night, Brother Chad.
I was going to send you stuff, dude. I got sent so many spider stuff. You have no idea. I got sent so. I think you know what we're going to do, Ken? We're going to get a tarantula. We're going to keep. We're going to have a WTN tarantula.
Oh, we need to get one of those blue ones.
Okay, I'll get us a cool one.
I mean, that thing is
cool.
It's beautiful.
We're going to have a WTN tarantula, so be prepared, people. When you guys, and you know what's great, dude? We'll bring it out to all the events.
And the hosts all have to take turns taking it home and taking care of it.
Yeah, that's right. To show them they need responsibility. You're right. You're right, Bell. You're right. This is Chad Benson Show, Super Talk 99.7. Wendy just texted in and said, could you imagine a pregnant Bell K? I can, actually. I can.
It's kind of rude.
Let me tell you guys something. Right now, he's currently in his second trimester, and I will say this. He's glowing, and he's really into nesting.
Nesting.
So he's cleaning. He's doing a lot of that stuff.
May you fall down a set of stairs.
Oh, my Lord, everybody. That's crazy. You guys are like, what school did you go to? None of you had to do the thing with the egg, huh?
I don't recall having.
No, there's a lot of people on the text line saying they had to do that.
Yeah.
That, and then they had actual dolls, and some people had to use flour. Bags of flour.
What's that? What flour? That's interesting. Oh, a bag of flour.
Yeah.
Okay. There you go.
We didn't have to worry about it in Oklahoma. We were all abstinent.
Yeah, because it wasn't for lack of effort. It was just nobody had game.
We just didn't do it.
Yeah, well, and you were homeschooled. So,
but that doesn't explain our high rate of teen pregnancy at the time.
Isn't it? Yeah, you know, some of you don't ever have to worry about this. You got no game, so don't worry about it. But others, you guys know who you are. Settle down. Again, it's about responsibility. That's all it is. And, you know, the best thing is don't do it, and you won't get pregnant. If you're walking down the street and then you go, oh, my God, I think I just got pregnant, you're pretty miraculous, maybe the new Mary. But
maybe in San Francisco?
Yeah, I know. Pregnancy's not catching. Right? It's like, what kind of mask do I wear to not get pregnant? It's a chastity belt. But we're the parents, too. That's the other thing. Somebody just checks in. She goes, her friend got pregnant at 15. Her daughter had a baby at 14. She was a grandmother at 29.
Son of a biscuit eater.
I have a 7-year-old daughter. I'm 50. You know, I mean, it's crazy. Yeah, I have friends now. You know, it's weird because I still think of myself at times, you know, because I eat like a 5-year-old, that I'm, you know, still in my 30s or whatever. And I've got friends who are grandparents, and I think it's so bizarre. I'm like, that's weird. But then I got a 7-year-old. So it's just, that was my fear when I was a kid growing up. My fear was I knew that I had dreams, and these were the things I wanted to do, and I wanted to pursue these things. And I knew that if I got somebody pregnant, that was going to come to a screeching halt. And I was never going to allow that to happen. And it's personal responsibility. We got to get these kids, you know, teaching them that there's a lot of other ways to do things. And this ain't it. Luckily, though, which is weird to say, and it's both good and bad, is teen pregnancy is way down because kids don't interact with each other. I mean, you know, young men, unfortunately, you guys have all turned to porn. That's why you're nuts, climbing up on roofs and shooting that crap because you can't get a real girlfriend. And women, you guys aren't into men anymore, the young ladies, because you think they're all stupid and idiots, and you guys are all uber progressive. I mean, that's kind of the way that this last election went.
Well, guys have always been stupid and idiots.
Well, they are. You know what? You only have to watch the internet for 5 minutes and realize this is why we don't live as long as you. I watched something last night where a guy put like a jet engine on a mower and then crashed into the house. And I think, and they were all, and he was older. It wasn't like a 14-year-old. And I thought, this is why we don't live as long.
Well, a lot of times though, you're not. A lot of times, let's be honest, we die younger because we really want to.
We want to get away from this place. So it's Yeah, it's just nuts. It is. But that's the sad thing about this next generation is women don't really want to have kids anyways, and young men who believe that family's important, they are also struggling because they watch too much damn porn and they struggle to get dates. When you've got a vast majority of young 20-somethings who haven't been on a date in several years, that's a scary thing. That doesn't lead... Giggity, indeed. No, that guy's always on a date. Quagmire. Quandary? Is that you, Quandary? Coming up, we'll talk a little bit more about Israel, some TikTok stuff coming up as well. By the way, I've got some information about the meeting on Tuesday with apparently every general in the world. We'll talk a little bit about that as well. Should we be nervous? If you're missing the show, make sure you grab the podcast. It is Chad Benson Show, Super Talk 99.7. All right, we are back. So we're out here today, Greystone Country Club, and we're here for a good cause. We're fighting DMD. Terry Marlin and Jonah are here right now. You guys are Jonah's the reason, and you're the man who's put all these things together. You guys are rocking it. So let's talk about. Well, first of all, let's talk about what DMD is, because I think a lot of people think, what's DMD?
So it's Duchenne muscular dystrophy. It's one of the 40 different dystrophies in the muscular dystrophy family. I did not know that when the boys were diagnosed. So Jonah is 21 now. My youngest, Emery, he's 19. They were diagnosed at 5 and 2, a day apart, a week before Christmas in 2008. And I did not know. I'd never heard of Duchenne, never heard of it. My philanthropy in college was MDA. Everybody's heard of ALS or Lou Gehrig's, but I had never heard of Duchenne. And so it's a muscle wasting disease that affects 1 in 3,500 boys born each year with no ethnic or geographical boundary. It stops at nothing all around the world. So it has nothing to do with the United States. There's people that I've talked to all around the world, and they're generally diagnosed at 5 or 6, like Jonah was. Jonah was diagnosed first. He had struggles going up steps sometimes, and then he had enlarged calf muscles. And back in the day, when he was first diagnosed, I could see his calves, but he couldn't run. And I was like, when this kid starts running, back then the Titans had Chris Johnson, run a 4.240. I thought when he starts running, he's going to be faster than Chris Johnson. And, then we got diagnosed and found out that, he's not going to run. And so then we got a genetic testing, and they said, well, we need to test your youngest son the next day, because it's all genetic, passed on from the mom, and it's a 1 in 3,500 chance, or we were a 1 in a million chance. We're called a spontaneous mutation because it's nowhere in our family. So nobody in our family's ever had it, and we had never heard of it. And so that's when we got the testing, and they said, yeah, both boys have it, which is, it's a rare disease, but there's lots of families that have 2, sometimes 3 kids with Duchenne.
So what's the difference between, what would be, because normally when we think of, MD, muscular dystrophy, we just think it's one thing. Jerry's kids and all that, we don't know what's the difference between this and the other forms that are out there.
Well, this one's only in kids.
Okay.
So ALS generally hits around 40 to 45. It hits hard and fast, usually 5 years, and it hits them pretty hard. It's the same as ALS, where Duchenne, it's more of a slow progression. They were diagnosed at 5 and 2. Both boys stopped walking at 8. That's a little early for Duchenne kids. Some of them can walk till they're 11 or 12. All Duchenne kids will be in a wheelchair, motorized chair, just like Jonah's here. So it stops at nothing. And so it's all a muscle wasting disease. It starts in the legs and works its way up, which he can still drive his chair with his fingers. But it's full-time care. We have to take him to the bathroom, put him to bed, feed him. He's got a feeding tube now, but he still eats real food. The youngest one hadn't eaten real food in probably 3 or 4 years. He's got a GJ tube, so he only is fed through his G tube. So, but that's pretty normal. He's on a breathing machine 24 hours a day, so his lungs are gone. Jonah's lungs are okay. He's not on a breathing machine, but it affects your lungs. It affects every muscle in your body, and which is why it's called muscular dystrophy.
Yeah.
This is just one of the 40 forms. You got SMA, CMT, SMA is a lot in girls, but it's in boys also. Duchenne is 99% boys.
99% boys. Okay.
So there's a rare occasion that a girl can have it. Now, the mom could have heart complications, and any kid that we had, it was a 50-50 shot of us passing it on to our kids. So we stopped having kids after 2. Once we were diagnosed, they said, you could have 10 more kids, and none of the 10 have it. You could have 10 and 8 have it, but it's a 50-50 shot. So we didn't want to risk it, and, especially when you have 2, you thought, well, that seems risky to have another child and not know. Now there's testing that they can know in vitro whether you have it, but what difference does that make?
Yeah.
I mean, you're still going to have your child.
Yeah.
So, it's you watch them, slowly lose the ability to walk, and then, back then they could still move their arms and still feed themselves, and but, and then it takes all those muscles away, and we've learned a lot, we've raised a lot of money, we've met a lot of great people, we've done a lot of great things. This is a generous community. We've raised over $2 million for research for kids like Jonah and Emery that have Duchenne. And, we're a small organization. Fight DMD is very small in the grand scheme of things around the world with other Duchenne organizations. There's lots of parents that's moving mountains. They're raising $10, $11 million a year. There's one that came in from the UK. They're investment bankers. Their first year, they raised $300 million. And that's what we have to have.
Yeah.
Our research is $10 million a year just for Duchenne research. We've only raised a little over 2. We're never going to get that big. But all of us parents together working, and because every organization that is raising money for Duchenne muscular dystrophy are parents that have kids with Duchenne.
Yeah, absolutely. Talking to Terry Marlin and Jonah. Say hi to everybody out there.
Hello.
So your favorite movie is?
Sound of Music.
That's right. The Hills Have Eyes. So, So talk to me, because you and I were talking earlier about your heart. Because that's one of the things you were telling about, and that's why the whole thing about the cardiac stuff at Vanderbilt that you guys work so hard on, and that your heart's doing pretty well, right?
Yes, our cardiologist says our hearts are doing great for Duchenne kids. We are on the right kind of medication, and we have a great cardiologist. We're very lucky.
So all of our research, when we started the research, is all cardiac research. And we had a great cardiologist at the time that has now moved on to Indiana. We have a great cardiologist now at Vanderbilt. But they convinced us, you need to start early. And we did. We started with Jonah at 5, and we started with the youngest one when they said it was okay. At 2, kind of don't want to do that. And so when he got old enough at, maybe 4 or 5, they've been on heart medications now for, Jonah for 16 years, and it's paid off. Because they caught it early. Just unfortunate that, their Emery's lungs are just gone. But Jonah's lungs are okay. He's on a BiPAP at night.
Yeah.
So a breathing machine at night, but not during the day.
So you're on the BiPAP at night. So tell us about you, because you and I were talking earlier, because we're talking about getting involved in politics, some of the things that you're interested in doing, and some of the things that you're trying to do to raise awareness and money together with people to bring awareness to a lot of stuff.
Yes.
So what's the board? You guys haven't started, because I thought it was today. What's the board you said you're on, or the thing you're doing now, the new charity?
Which one?
Which one?
For Fight DMD?
Fight DMD. What else? Because you got all kinds of stuff. You got big plans, man.
Well, I was going to tell you about one thing. A few years ago, we were helping. We gave the seed money to it's a pharmaceutical company, Cumberland Pharmaceuticals, and they were developing, or they're close to it, developing a cardiac drug that reverses, right? It reverses scarring on the heart. And we gave them the seed money, and they call it the Fight DMD trial. It started in mice, And these mice were, like, how expensive were they? $25,000 mice.
Holy moly.
So we call them the Wagyu mice.
Yeah, those are super wag. Those are gold mice.
So we decided to call them Wagyu mice. Because Wagyu is
Very expensive.
high-end steak. So, and that was when?
Oh, a long time ago.
And since then, they've developed the drug, they've tested it, and discovered it completely reverses damage, keeps the heart healthy, and what else about it?
So it's called Efetraban is the drug they've come up with. And so they're here today. All the volunteers are from Cumberland Pharmaceuticals. Everybody that you saw at the table,
Yeah.
registration, check-in, all the people watching the hole-in-ones are all from Cumberland Pharmaceuticals. And so we gave the seed money, Fight DMD did, and then they asked us, would you mind us naming the trial Fight DMD trial? I was like, well, of course not.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I mean, yes, I want you to do that. So, I mean, it's completely separate. It's their trial. It's just called the Fight DMD trial because we gave the seed money.
So, long-term picture, like kids, like they get it this young. What's the long-term diagnosis, and how far have they come in just not only that trial but other trials?
They've come a long way. There's a new drug out right now that is really helping kids. That's they started with they only wanted ambulatory kids that could walk. What? And yeah, it's an injection. It's a one-time injection, but it's $3 million, one time. And so there was a kid that passed away from it, so they've taken it off the market right now. But there's a lot of kids on it. It's doing really well. And, there's risk that's associated with it. And one, you got to have an insurance that can pay $3 million or willing to pay $3 million. But it's a one-time injection, and it's only for Duchenne kids. And it's really doing well. But, if you have that one kid, there was more than one. There was a couple that had passed away, and they think it's because of this injection. But, there's great things going on that will help that family that I just told you about that came into the States and raised $300 million their first year. They've developed a solid suit that would go underneath your clothing. Now, you can do it for multiple things. Of course, they have a Duchenne kid.
Yeah.
But when you start having trouble, like Jonah did at 5 or 6 walking, and so this is a solid suit, and it will move your muscles for you. It will walk for you. It will move your arms for you, and you would never know they are even wearing it. It's like an Under Armour type situation under your clothes, and it's thin. I don't understand it. I'm not a scientist. I'm not a researcher. I'm just a dad. But somehow this suit works to move your muscles when you need them to move. And that suit's not going to be cheap.
No.
But it's going to help Duchenne kids and military people. And, I mean, if you lost your limbs in the military.
Yeah, but it's going to help. It's going to help, but not just Duchenne. It's going to have an opportunity to help
Absolutely.
a lot of different people.
And, it's not going to be cheap, just like that drug's not cheap.
Yeah.
Just like Jonah's chair here is, this is his third-generation chair. And we started, his first one was at $30,000. This one's $113,000.
Yeah.
So, but now it's advanced.
Yeah, it's super. Oh, my little brother, G2 Trach, brain damage. He's on his chair. He's 21 now too. Just turned, and it's the same kind of thing. I'm always surprised. I'm like, Mom, how much? It's crazy. If people want to help, they couldn't get out here today, but they want to help because you guys should want to help because you guys are good people. What do they do and how can they help?
Go to fightdmd.com. There's a donate link there. We take all kind of forms of donations. We'll take anything but your firstborn, but you can send a donation credit card. There's an address on there. You can mail a check. If you can't make it out today, we take all forms of monetary donations. So go to fightdmd.com. You'll see the link there on the right, and it'll say donate. You can do PayPal, credit card, however you choose to do it.
Right on. Appreciate it. Terry, Jonah, thank you guys so much. Thanks for coming here today.
Thank you so much.
Hey, give me a hot take. Come on, give me some hot takes. Just one hot take.
What do you want?
I don't know. Just throw it out there. Some political hot take. Go. Come on.
Well, I don't.
Come on.
Well, what do you think about the new Wicked movie?
Oh, I don't watch that. Is that the one, the Elsa, Elfie? Alpha?
Alphaba.
I didn't see that one. I know there's another one coming out,
About
though.
the Wicked Witch.
Look at this guy. He's all about musicals with this guy. We'll be back straight ahead. Chad Benson Show, Super Talk 997. Thank you. Okay, I got it. I'm going to bring you on later. I'm telling you. You're coming back. Hey, Ken, I got a question for you.
Yes, sir.
Is that a shirt you're wearing? A Randy Watson sexual chocolate shirt?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I just want to make sure.
It's from the World Tour 1988.
Was that not like the best just throwaway character that should have got his own movie?
Yes, sir.
Sexual chocolate.
Yeah,
I believe.
Yeah, they should have gone through the whole time starting whenever he played Joe the policeman in the What's Going Down episode of That's My Mama.
That's my mama. That's so great. I believe the children are the future.
Everybody give yourself a hand. So beautiful.
If you guys have ever seen it, that's from Coming to America.
One of the funniest movies of all time.
McDowell's. They're McDonald's.
Yeah, they were McDowell's. And then I cannot remember the name of the actor, John Witherspoon.
Yes.
Who played, and he says, "Son, if you're going to work here, you're going to have to stay off the drugs."
It's such a great movie.
May he rest in peace.
Glow. Eric De La Salle. That was spectacular. All right, coming up. We got some of your text messages, everything from Israel to, what we're just talking about. So many other things to get to next hour. If you missed any of the show, guess what? We have a podcast. Check it out. Go to my socials as well, at Chad Benson Show, X, Insta, YouTube, all that stuff. Chad Benson Show, Super Talk 997.